Harvest.
Good afternoon, Africa. This is Imene Nouad with the latest news from across the continent and the world. Algerian President Abdelmajid Tebboune is receiving the Tunisian Minister of Foreign Affairs, Migration and Tunisians Abroad Mohamed Ali Nafti and his accompanying delegation. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ahmed Attaf, met with his Tunisian counterpart earlier today ahead of the tripartite neighboring countries' mechanism meeting on Libya. The two sides reviewing strong bilateral ties under President Tebboune and Qais Said. They stress both the preparations for the upcoming 23rd Algerian-Tunisian High Joint Commission to boost partnership and integration. The chair of the African Parliament's Committee on Transport and Energy, Bahja Al-Amali, calls for an immediate end to all foreign interference in Sudan. She urges as well the creation of safe humanitarian corridors and the protection of civilians, condemning the ongoing atrocities and appealing to African and Arab conscience for urgent action. A new report warns that more than half of South Sudan's population, about 7.5 million people, will face severe hunger between April and July 2026. The United Nations says conflict, displacement, and climate shocks are driving the crisis, urging urgent humanitarian action. Shifting to the political front in Guinea, opposition parties grouped under the Force Vive coalition denounced the official candidacy for the upcoming December 28th presidential election. They reaffirmed their commitment to defend the people's right to freely choose their leaders. Tanzanian police have lifted the night curfew in Dar es Salaam following days of post-election protests. Economic activities are gradually resuming, though shortages of fuel and basic goods persist in parts of the city. The African Union has appointed Ambassador Mohamed Idris Farah as its social envoy to Madagascar. His mission aims to promote dialogue and restore constitutional order after recent violent protests triggered by power and water shortages in the island nation. In Brazzaville, Algerian expert Farid Ghazali is elected the new Secretary General of the African Petroleum Producers Organization. His election reflects Algeria's growing leadership within continental energy institutions. At the African Biodiversity Summit in Gaborone, Botswana, African Union Deputy Chairperson Salma Malika Haddadi urged the nations to treat biodiversity as a pillar of peace and sustainable development. She calls for greater investment in youth, local communities, and climate resilience. The United Nations warns that global efforts to curb climate change remains insufficient, as the latest emissions gap report shows that the planet is on track for up to 2.5 degrees Celsius of warming, driven largely by continued dependence on fossil fuels and setbacks in international cooperations. And that sums up today's Harvest. Thank you to paying attention to the fullest. We will catch you again on the French main news at 6:45 p.m. Until then, keep enjoying our programs with the Ifrikya FM, the voice of Africa.